The SEC just created NACs, Natural Asset Companies. What are these? They're taking our national parks and treasures, turning them into commodities that are managed by the elites.
I've never seen you so mad.
Nothing's sacred anymore. Everything's for sale.
Welcome back to the RV Odd Couple. My name is John.
And I'm Mercedes, and we found freedom, independence, and adventure when we RV'd this beautiful nation, and national parks were a big part of that. And that's why this video is so important. Please watch it, share it, like it, do your own research.
Look for yourself.
Because if RVers really bounded together, we could change the world.
Yeah, there's millions of us, you guys, and I actually think this is going to be really hard to stop, but the more of us that know about it, at least we give us a chance. We have a chance to stop this.
And I'm begging you to please share this video. We got to get this in front of as many people as possible.
I'm going to zip it because I love her passion on this video, and it was her idea to let's do it. So,
well, this is a big deal, and what really bothered me was that how did I not know this was happening? I don't consider myself...
You're like most Americans, your head's in the sand.
I thought you were zipping it. No, but seriously, can you imagine what it would be like if your bucket list vacation was like a Disney theme park experience where there's a fast pass, you know, you have to pay to see the prettiest parts. Or imagine it's worse, that you don't even get to see anything because it's bad for the environment and you might step on a worm.
And it's owned by the elites.
That's what drives me crazy. And it's not just the elites. In the US, it could be owned by foreign countries. I'm going to be reading this stuff because I don't want to get it wrong. It's really important. So here goes. If not stopped, on November 17th, the US government will pass a rule that allows for America's protected lands, including parks and wildlife refuges, to be listed on the New York Stock Exchange. Natural asset companies will be owned and managed and traded by companies like BlackRock, Vanguard, and even China.
Bill Gates.
So if this rule passes, America's conserved lands and parks will move into the balance sheets of the richest people in the world. And nobody knows about this. A natural asset company is a new type of asset class. It's designed to hold rights to and manage the productivity and ecological benefits of natural assets, such as natural parks, forests, marine areas, farmlands.
Crazy.
Now, the following are eligible. You have everything from national parks.
What they mean is the rural part of America. Remember, they want us in 15-minute cities. They want to own everything else.
Areas of critical environmental concern, conservation areas, private federal lands, endangered species, critical habitat, all of this stuff.
Land, air, water.
So this aims to assign a value to natural services such as clean water and to manage these assets in a sustainable manner. Do you not see how problematic that is? Assign a value to natural services such as clean water and manage these assets in a sustainable manner.
Everything's for sale.
So it's an investment mechanism. The NACs are intended to raise funds through initial public offerings, and they can be used to manage the specific natural asset and potentially acquire additional natural assets or return value to owners. What does return value mean? It means make money off of this investment. So in a world where money is printed hand over fist, having a hard asset is a really attractive investment.
And the elites want it all. They want all of it.
But listen to this. So it's got an ESG focus. Does that ring your, ESG focus. So NACs are promoted as a sustainable investment vehicle. So they align with environmental, social, governance, ESG principles by focusing on conservation and sustainable management of these natural resources. On the surface, sustainability sounds good, right? But look at how it's managed and measured. The devil really is in the details, and this is diabolical. So the accounting framework, the Exchange Reporting Framework, ERF, is based on the United Nations system of environmental economic accounting.
They write the rules.
So this measures, values, and reports on the ecosystem services and natural assets managed by the NAC. Why are we allowing our national treasures to be managed by a framework created by the United Nations?
Oh, that's the plan. It's been that way all along, baby.
Why would we do that? That's like asking my neighbor to solve my marriage problems. Like, why would you do that?
This plan was patched 40 years ago by the WEF, the UN, all the powers that be. They don't want us owning anything.
So here's the criticism and controversy. Critics argue that NACs could lead to the commodification of nature and potentially undermine local communities' rights to access these natural resources. Concerns also include the involvement of foreign-controlled sovereign wealth funds and the potential for NACs to prioritize financial gain over environmental concerns.
So it's not Yosemite or Yellowstone. It's now something you can purchase, and anybody can purchase it.
Well, and if it's owned by China and it's in your backyard, you really think China is going to let you use that for free? Not unless it benefits China. Yep. And why the heck would China own land in your backyard? Now, the market reaction, this is where it gets interesting. The New York Stock Exchange initially announced plans to launch NACs, but later withdrew the proposal, indicating a complex and evolving regulatory landscape.
They got pressure from a whole bunch of states, from a whole bunch of state attorney generals, from everybody.
Regulatory
so they pulled
pressure.
Back. We got to rebrand and send it another way.
And that's what they're doing. I mean, this is crazy. So what does the future hold? Despite the withdrawal of the New York Stock Exchange proposal, the concept of NACs, they're still floating it out there, continues to be discussed, debated, reflecting ongoing interest and finding innovative ways to manage natural assets sustainably. So the SEC created NACs, but it's not approved on the New York Stock Exchange yet.
But it will be.
And so what can we do about it, right? Here's the good news, guys. People are getting sick of ESG. People are getting sick of net zero.
Well, the American people are starting to stand up and push back because more and more people like us are getting this information out here. So more and more Americans are pulling their head out of the sand and starting to pay attention. So the ESG is starting to die. The net zero stuff is starting to die. So this is a new way that they can rebrand it and send it as a different way because it'll have a different name.
That's right. Do your own research. Don't take our word for it. Like, you look into it and decide what this means to you. The fact that NACs have already been created now, it's just, can we stop them from going on the New York Stock Exchange? Americans could explore legal avenues to challenge the proposal if they believe it violates their rights or laws. I think this violates American laws because the whole reason for having national parks was to preserve it.
Right.
So now we're going to have somebody else own it? Right. That's problematic.
They want to monetize everything, and they don't want us to have nothing.
Do you know who represents you in Congress? Chances are you don't. And this is something, especially as RVers, I mean, if RVers got together, we could really affect change. This is something that affects all RVers.
Yeah, where's the RVIA? Where's Camping World, right? We should all be pulling together, put aside political differences. This is not black or white. This is not red or blue. This is not Democrat, Republican, or Independent. This is our birthright.
Our national
We
parks.
own this country. You can't monetize everything. And they want to wrap these things up in nice little bows, and then they're going to control, ultimately, I believe, it's all about a carbon footprint. They don't want us breathing the air, they don't want us drinking the water, and they don't want us on their land.
Shut up and eat your bugs, and you'll like it. Do you have anything to say?
I've known this has been going on a long time. I was actually surprised that you took so much interest in this topic. I bring you stuff like this all the time for some reason, and maybe it's because you realize how serious it is and how serious things are getting. You know, we're living in scary times.
It's Twilight Zone.
It's dystopic. This stuff is absolutely crazy. The bottom line is the super elite, the wealthy, the people that run this world want to own everything. They don't want us to have anything. They're cutting off our energy. They're cutting off our food. They want to control every aspect of our lives, and this is how they're going to do it. They're not going to do it through Congress. They're going to do it through these NGOs. They're going to do it through these committees. Behind the scenes, this stuff is going to slowly get rolled out. It's time we have to start paying attention. We have to. And I have a lot of hope right now. More and more Americans are waking up. We're pushing back on net zero. We're pushing back on ESG. I mean, the pendulum seems to have been swinging the other way. So let's keep the momentum going and get this word out to as many people as we possibly can, because I do believe we can stop it. And again, there's nothing to be afraid of, right? We are in this world. We are not of this world. And in the end, we win. But there's certainly things we can do to protect our family and protect our friends and take care of our neighbors.
That's right. We'll see you in the next video.